Hi, Rob again. Welcome to another installment of Rob Reviews. You know, I'm gonna take this black thing off. I was gonna try doing this sort of bum review style with a puppet, a night puppet, and I was gonna call it Movie Night. And it wasn't working out too well, so let's just do this as a Rob review. I'll stay standing, though, just, sake of easiness. Okay, so I just saw Pan. Okay, so I remember, whenever it was the trailer first came out, what was it, end of last year, beginning of this year, whenever that was. So I remember seeing it, thinking, it looked stupid, that Hugh Jackman looked fucking ridiculous, so I'm like, yeah, I don't, so the movie's out now, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna see it. And then, someone on Facebook shares this review of the movie, and the review pretty much says that Pan, I'm kind of semi-quoting it, Pan is so resoundingly god-awful that you have to see it. Okay. Got my attention, so I just saw it. Thank you, frequent moviegoer card, for providing me with a free ticket that I used for this. So, let's see. So, first off, I don't know, one or two performances that are kind of likable, one or two visuals that are kind of neat. A lot of bizarre choices, and not necessarily best storytelling, so yeah, getting it off. So that's my general thoughts. See it if you're interested, I guess. So this is going to be pretty much my recap of the movie instead. A bit of a different Rob review than usual. Okay, so Peter and his friend in the orphanage in World War II, they sneak into the nasty... Oh yeah, by the way, there are times in this movie where it's difficult to understand what people are saying, just getting that out there. So, among them is this nasty head nun at the orphanage Peter lives in. And, boys have been kind of disappearing lately, and of course, because World War II, they've got rations, so they only get gruel, but Peter and his friend think that the nun may be hiding the good stuff! So, well, okay, he doesn't say it that way, but though Hugh Jackman and whoever it is that plays Hook Garrett something they can get a bit like that at times. For instance, a Hugh Jackman moment, how many times have I told you not to bother me while during rejuvenation? Something to that effect. You get the idea. So, they get, and then yeah, she is hiding all the sweet stuff in there, and there's also a chest filled with gold coins. So, we find out that the nun, I guess, has some deal with the Pirates of Neverland, where, she raises the Jolly Roger on the flagpole of the orphanage, and the pirates come in at night on their flying giant pirate ship, and they come down through the ceiling of the orphanage! And they steal the boys in the dead of night. This one who looks like a clown for some reason grabs Peter, and they fly off, and they get mistaken for a war balloon. And then they go so far up into the sky, above the clouds, and they're in a starry landscape, and Peter's floating, and he reaches at Saturn, which is, big enough to grab or something. And then they go under the skies, which is some sort of weird underwater thing. There's floating water bubbles with things in them, and flying fish. And the ship takes Peter to this giant crater, where, all the other pirates are, and they're forcing boys and other male people to mine. And Peter sees this and says, "Is this Canada?" And then as they arrive, all the people in the mine are singing "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Yes. That's not a joke. They're singing "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and Blackbeard appears, yada yada stuff, and so there's stuff with Peter mining, and he meets Hook, this guy who's, let's call him Hookison Ford. Yeah, he meets Hookison Ford, and so eventually, like, Peter, and they're all mining for, like, pixie dust, for fairy dust, Pixum! And we find out later Hook uses it to stay young because Mother Gothel wouldn't do this movie. And this is barely a thing, like, we just see old guy, like, use the fairy dust, like, put on some mask, and it makes him the younger looking Blackbeard. Later near the climax, they're heading towards Fairy Hive, and Blackbeard's like, I shall have immortality! Eventually Peter's gonna be forced off the plank, and when they're singing that hi-ho song that young, ignorant me, I only know it from the Jimmy Neutron movie. It smells like Teen Spirit. So, he falls, and he flies! And so, Blackbeard takes him aside and is like, so, they said that, this kid there's a prophecy about some kid, like, named Pan, who was lost from our world, but he'd come back and such, and he would defeat me. Are you him? Oh yeah, and he could fly. Are you him? He was like, oh, I don't know. So, it's locked up, and eventually, he and Hook break in, they're joined by Smee, and they eventually escape, and they land on the island, where they encounter these weird CGI skeleton rainbow birds. Never birds! Squawk, squawk! Squawk, squawk! Never birds! Squawk! We're CGI! Squawk! You know, I don't necessarily agree with Doug Walker on his thoughts on the CGI of Jurassic World, but oh my god, this is definitely not very good CGI. Also, green screen, yeah, not the best green screen effect. It's kind of it's not difficult to tell they're in front of a green screen. Hell, maybe it's just me, but the Room's green screen effects I find more believable. So, eventually they find the natives, it's more like they get caught. Hook's like, we found the natives! Cut to Tiger Lily, who's a pretty white girl. Yeah, I guess that was a whole controversy beforehand. Can't see, I don't understand it. So then they go to the Endor village. I mean, the native village where C-3PO, Hookus Ford has to be, like, he's gonna fight this one guy and to the death, and it'll decide the fate of his friends, and so they're bouncing around on this trampoline, and Hookus Ford is getting his ass handed to him until he finds a stick, starts beating the other guy, but that seems to work, although that doesn't work, ends up not working for him. Eventually they realize, wait, Peter, you have that Pan symbol around your neck, yeah? That means you're the chosen one, you're the one in the prophecy, yay! You're not coming to Frog. It's what Rob felt it fit the moment, so they go to Memory Tree, like the Memory Bark, and okay, here's our ripoff of the Tale of the Three Brothers. So, your father was a fairy prince, a fairy lord, and he hooked up with and helped your mother, who belonged to Blackbeard. So, and eventually all the fairies went away to Fairy Place. And yeah, sorry, I'm trying not to go over 15 minutes because of the whole copyright thing. So if I can sum it up quicker. So eventually, you have Peter and Hookus Ford and Tiger Lily. Like, after the pirates eventually evade, because Smee spilled the beans to them, so they invade and kill the chief, and it's kind of hard to tell who they're killing, because, like, they turn into colorful dust. So eventually, Blackbeard tells Peter, yeah, hey, you know the truth? Your mother died at my hand, and so will you. Think a happy thought! But no, he gets saved with Tiger Lily and Hookus Ford. Also, Hookus Ford tried flirting with Tiger Lily earlier, and she's like, hey, we're all in danger now! You know, you have beautiful eyes. Someone in the theater actually went, oh my god, when that happened. So eventually, so Tiger Lily's like, yeah, okay, what Blackbeard said is true. And, why did you lie? We needed you. Nah! So they run off and they encounter giant crocodiles. One of them almost gets Peter, but then mermaids save him. I think they shocked the crocodile, and the mermaid water, so Hook swims to look at this old ship, and Tiger Lily and Peter are in the water. She's like, oh, the mermaids have infused the water with memories. And although it's memories that we can, so an animated CGI thing of like what really happened, except it's so poorly done we can barely see what's going on. Apparently the mother actually sacrificed herself. Not clear at all, and it doesn't sound too terribly different. Like, Peter's like, she was a warrior? I don't know. I thought we'd heard something before about her being a warrior, so... Nah. But, yeah, so they fix up the ship, and Hook leaves without them because he got his reward, and now he's leaving. Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Oh, come on, Luke, it's okay. Let's go fight the Death Star. But yeah, so eventually, I don't remember how, so... Oh yeah, and also, the head nun has a deal with pirates to let them... with Neverland Pirates to let them take boys. So! No, I remember now. So, Peter and Tiger Lily go to the place of the fairies where they're... And Peter can't read English, so... They say, but he can read fairy, it turns out. He's like, only the prince where's the key can open the door. Blackbeard shows up because they eventually found the map on how to get there. And Blackbeard takes the pan thing on his neck, which is the key, puts it in, opens the door, even though the thing said only a prince who bears it can open the door. I don't think Blackbeard is the prince. They get in, and it's Fairy Kingdom with all these giant things of Pixum. And there's a hive that Blackbeard's trying to go to, and Tinkerbell shows up super briefly, and Peter can understand her. Eventually Hook comes back, and action, and flames, and flying. And, the fairies... Yeah, Peter finally flies, and the fairies, like, all grab Blackbeard until, like, the ship crashes, and Blackbeard goes down with it. So, yeah, and then the fairies form into the image of Peter's mother, Amanda Seyfried. She's like, the talk between them, talk, I miss you even though I've never met you. Don't worry, I'll always be a part of you in this magical land. And so then Peter goes back to, and all the other orphans come back. Like, they take all the rest of the orphans to Neverland. Oh, there's a moment where... Oh yeah, the head nun has a deal with Neverland Pirates to let them take the boys. So there's a moment where they're all ready to go up, and Peter levitates, even though we can't see him levitating, until like some kid's like, Peter, where's your robe? Oh, there's a lot I've got to tell you. We can't see him levitating, so did he step up or something? No, he's levitating, so weird. Couldn't you have switched that around? And they're on the ship, and Hook's the captain, Captain Hook, kissing Ford. And there's a moment where they're like, oh, we'll have a lot of time to argue over that. And they fly off, string to the right. And, you know, instead of, actually going into why Hook and Peter became enemies, they just leave it at, we'll always be friends, right, Hook? Yeah, of course we will. What could go wrong? Da-da-da-da-da-da. The end. Thank you for the money. Well, except for Rob, because he used a free ticket. Yes, I did. Yeah, so they solved the answer of how Peter and Hook become friends, and how Smeeb ranks up with Hook despite betraying him in this movie through not doing it. Yay, 11 us! This is going to be an interesting thing to rewatch. I've got a little over a minute left. Oh yeah, and there's a nun the head nuns makes it, you know the bit. That's probably the most bizarre thing of it. So yeah, I was right, this wasn't very good. Anything to wrap it up with? Well, aside from the silence, I don't know. I guess it was kind of fun to see just how weird it was. Hell, maybe I'll see it again. I don't know. I'll look forward to Glenn's review. Oh yeah, and there's also a couple cheap little nods, like, oh, you mean he's lost? Well, yes, he is a lost boy. There was something else that happened I don't remember. I have less than half a minute before I reach 15. Okay, so that was my thoughts and reenactment on Pan. See it if you want, and well, I warned you. Seriously, smells like Teen Spirit, what?